Got a little song called If You Want to Get to Heaven, Gotta Raise a Little Hell. Come on, see us, will you?
Hey, Color Me Dad is a podcast about anything we think is funny or interesting, including music, pop culture, lots of dad-isms and inside jokes, and every now and then we bring on people who are famous to us. Please enjoy this episode entitled, Don't You Know Who I Think I Am?
Yeah. I got drunk early enough to know that I didn't want to get drunk anymore. The first time I tried vodka it was not even.
I couldn't
even handle it.
I bet he was one of those people too that could drink it like water.
Well, see, that's the thing.
Just...
I said it was the first time, and I didn't realize it took a little bit. So I was like,
I realize you're drunk.
Yeah, I drank too much. And so I lost my contact lens, which this was in the early 90s. A big deal. You paid $100 for a set of contacts, and you had those all year. So I lost a contact. I had a ski trip the next day, which I'd paid for, and I didn't get to go. I was too sick. So I don't know that I ever drank after that. And that would have been 92, probably.
Yeah, you didn't miss anything.
Yeah. It's just something I know that certain things I do or got into, I just realized if I do this and like it, that's going to be the end. It's I'm going to wake up.
You get way into it.
How old are you today?
41.
Wow. Happy birthday.
It's not very exciting.
Joshy. That's pretty exciting. It's just not an even number. But
what would you say is the last memorable birthday? Like a birthday that meant anything?
21.
When I was 21, I had a skating party.
I was there. I was talking about this the other day.
Too, actually.
Yeah, you went with me.
That's funny. My brother was turning 25 or 26, and I was turning 21, and we had a skating party just because you're not supposed to do that. So we did. So here we are, our third episode, Color Me Dad, and as promised, it's Josh Baker's birthday here. Joshy's birthday. Right. And he's 41 years old, and he's got special guests. This is our first. What do you call it?
Segment.
Our first segment on the show, which we've decided we're going to have a segment recurring every now and then called "Famous to Us." Doug is with us.
He is famous to us.
Doug, you are famous to us. Just so you know,
you all are all famous to me as well.
Well, appreciate that.
But you're man about town, though. You can. There's many a nightclub you could stroll into and get a Norm's style welcome.
Maybe one or two. Maybe.
I was just thinking, as far as good drunk stories, what's your most memorable or unmemorable drunk story? Because I have a great one with you.
Well, which one is yours first?
The time that you threw up on the bass player for Skid Row's shoes.
Yeah. That was pretty memorable.
Please tell that story.
That was a good one.
I doubt he.
I don't remember.
Somebody tell that story.
I don't remember puking on Rachel Boland's shoes.
Was he an original?
But I remember the night.
Oh, he's the key songwriter.
Yep.
I'm sure it's not the first time it's happened to him.
I was probably really excited about meeting him.
We
nerves.
Extremely excited.
I understand.
They started rehearsing. Right where we were staying at the time. Me and the guys in my band, and I'd been telling Doug about it. Dude, the guys in Skid Row, and Doug and myself both have been fans for a long, long time. My friend Rob, actually, that I played in a couple different bands with, has been their drummer now for quite some time. But Doug was actually, honestly, a bigger fan than I was. Even Doug was pretty big on Skid Row.
That first album, man.
So Doug was stoked on it, and I was like, I had met him and talked to him enough that I was like, eventually I'll be able to introduce you and whatnot. So we go to this club, and it was really, really strange too, because Doug's not known for drinking. He's not a big drinking guy. For some reason that night, like you just started pounding them early.
I think it was the GNR cover band.
It was.
Got me really riled up.
It was called GNR Lives.
Yes.
And it was amazing.
The story keeps getting better.
It was awesome, actually. And then real quick, I'll cut to that. We were, Doug's brother was there as well. I can't remember what tune they opened up with, but
it was probably Welcome to the Jungle. But none of them were, like, it was supposed to be a tribute.
Right.
And they all didn't, they just looked like dudes. And we were all kind of like,
we got super bummed because it was like just like the drummer, the guitarist, and the bass player up there, and they had these really, really awful like $3 wigs on. Like it looked like you and your friends went to an 80s theme party. But then all of a sudden, time for the vocals to kick in. And homeboy runs out and completely to the nines, you know, dressed like Axl.
Does a snake.
But was about 200 pounds heavier than Axl.
Yeah.
So current Axl.
But had the total, like, came out there like, wah! Like he was...
Sounded just like it.
Like, yeah, we could not stop
and
laughing.
Snake.
A mean version of Patience that I would pay money to hear
I haven't
again.
done that for a while.
No kidding. It's been a minute.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, so that Doug just proceeded to drink like a madman, and
When in Rome.
towards the end of the show, I remember I was talking to
What was Rome at that? With the 80s? Is that...
If you're in a bar seeing Guns N' Roses, you gotta
the
be
closest
drunk.
thing at the
It's
time.
1987. Shut up.
You don't know.
With the whiskey
You have
and
you have no control over your own body when You Could Be Mine is playing, or Night Train, or any of that. But at one point, I just remember I was talking to Doug's brother, and we look over at the bar, and Doug was just sitting at the bar by himself, and he just had that surly, like, just totally out of character, like it was hammer time. And we were laughing just because it was so out of character or whatnot. While all that's going on, eventually the guys in Skid Row show up at the bar. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to introduce Doug to these Skid Row guys. So I go over and just grab him and kind of like, hey man, Rachel Boland's over here, come meet him. It's like, no, come over here and meet him whenever. And Doug just kind of saunters over, man, just kind of, you know, tripping over his own feet. And I'm like, hey, Rachel, man, I just wanted you to meet my friend Doug, man. He's loved you guys for a long time. And just all over Rachel. I hope they were snakeskin boots. I'm not sure. I don't remember that part, but all over his shoes.
That'll ruin your night.
And dude just...
Was he pretty pissed off about it?
Not surprisingly, like it wasn't what you'd imagine at all. It was just kind of like... just kind of horrified, disgusted, and just kind of sauntered off like it never happened.
I mean, what can you do at that point? And are you saying Rachel? This dude's name is
That's
Rachel?
his name, yeah. Rachel Boland.
I did not know that.
He's the guy with the nose ring that goes from the nose to the ear.
Yeah.
My only
You don't remember that?
Sebastian Bach, whatever his name is.
Oh. Sebastian Bach was like the hired hand for that band. Like,
Yeah.
He wasn't even...
Really?
Yeah, the band existed and everything, and he was pulled in like, okay, you can sing. And they got a singer from Canada, and he was... I read this book recently called Nothing But a Good Time. Hair metal in the 80s, like the rise and fall. And it was just tons of stories like this and how all this stuff came together. And it was really interesting if you like nostalgically the 80s. They picked him up, and basically everything he did was just said the wrong thing, threw bottles at people, just got them famous, but also destroyed at the same time. He was very destructive, I guess.
In all fairness, dude could sing better than everybody.
And that's, when you sing really well, you get to do all these terrible things. Like, God, we hate this guy, but he can sing. Yeah, I think it was that kind of a relationship.
You can pick up pretty easy, like, what they had to deal with, because later on, he just became so, like... It was on every reality show and all that stuff.
I was going to say, I have a memory of him being on some reality show.
He's awful.
Well, he didn't have publishing from those records. He didn't write probably as much, so
You gotta make money somehow.
you gotta be touring. And
Wasn't he like an opera
touring.
singer for a while?
He did Phantom of the Opera.
That's I thought I had a memory of
He
that.
had incredible range and terrible decision-making skills.
I mean, I think those are good qualities. in
Good
a front man.
qualities, yeah. It's pretty much any singer, that's really great. Can you not get into trouble? No.
Can't have it all, man.
Nope.
Remember the shirt he wore? I'm not going to say what it's.
I was gonna.
That was what was in my mind, and I was like, no, I don't even want to say it. He had a shirt on at a show, and they
he
talked
got in
about that
trouble.
book.
He got in trouble then. Could
Right.
you imagine?
Canceled immediately.
You know?
Yeah.
Do you know what we're talking
House
about?
burnt down.
His
man.
shirt was a raid, like Bugs raid.
Oh yeah. I remember that now.
Yeah. So anyway, it's kind of a.
Google it, guys.
That
If you don't
is-
know what we're talking about, Google it.
Don't Google it. It's
That
it's not-
especially would have gotten him canceled.
Well, it made problems in 88, 89, whenever this was. And they didn't, they were on big tours with Bon Jovi and stuff like that because Dave the Snake knew Bon Jovi. He was from New Jersey. And
If I'm not mistaken, I think Bon Jovi championed.
yeah, right. And
Yeah.
I
They had
remember
the same manager, that
Yeah.
Doc McGee dude.
And I remember an interesting part of that was like, I guess John Bon Jovi and Richie Sambora had like a stake. They had like a business partnership in that band. And so throughout like their rise, the story I read in the book was that Richie Sambora gave up his rights. He was like,
Sambuca.
I've made plenty of money. You can keep your money or something like that, and gave them back their rights to Skid Row. He had a vested interest in the band, and he just said, "You can keep my part of it. I don't care. I got plenty of money."
I think Richie Sambora does not get enough credit
Yeah, right.
for what he contributed to Bon Jovi and in pop culture in general.
Oh, well,
The
What did he
pop
contribute
culture.
to pop culture?
Well, he had that
other than-
double neck guitar at the music awards, and that's
there's no better or more famous backing vocal than
Yeah, right.
Dead or Alive.
the sideman to put all your sideman up against, because he couldn't have done it alone. But
And he was a good musician. I mean,
Yeah.
they wouldn't go see the Richie Sambora 3, but
Nobody could pull off a duster jacket like that.
that's right. That's right.
I think you should get a duster, Doug. I've been saying that for a
I think
while
I
now.
might have one actually.
Man.
Don it, please.
Well, I don't know.
People can't
is
see
that the big
you.
long trench coat looking thing?
Yeah. Like the Western kind of like tombstone.
late 80s.
I remember when those had a resurgence of popularity.
Do you remember mud flaps on a denim jacket?
I remember that, like down in the back. Yeah.
Right at the bottom of the denim jacket, it had a little like cotton flap. They were usually like striped or something. They were called mud flaps.
I only recall what's the
Oh, the
Fringes.
The fringes. Yeah.
I remember being a kid and dying for a denim jacket so I could put my patches on, And
Isn't it
my
funny?
grandparents got me a denim jacket finally, and I was super bummed out that it had a mud flap because
I've never heard that term in my life.
And you grow up and you think, I don't know, for some reason my instinct is, well, we won't do this anymore, but we just do it again, like all the same stuff. Like everybody's wearing jean jackets, mullets, everything, all that stuff's back.
The kid that delivered my groceries or loaded in my car from Walmart had the most gnarly mullet.
Okay.
This whole side of his head shaved. I mean,
And so the people out there who say this all the time, that old saying about not remembering history, if you don't know history, you're doomed to repeat it. And there it is in a mullet.
listen to all highfalutin over here, by the way.
What's that?
Just-
Why is Andy?
The little kid that delivers my groceries.
delivery is the wrong thing.
I have a boy at Walmart.
It's free and I'm lazy.
I can't wait. I tried that one time, and I pull up there, and they didn't have everything.
Yeah, that's that's just something you got to accept.
I don't accept it. I go in, and I've been masked up the whole time, and I can't do
me
it.
and the wife get in arguments about the pickup, the grocery pickup.
Yeah.
We don't do the home delivery, but the pickup.
The home delivery is a
I would
disaster.
much rather go in and do it
just
by
walk,
myself
yeah.
because at the end of the day, I'm bringing that stuff in, and there's 100 items and there's 100 bags, and it drives me crazy.
Now that is true. I will give you.
They bag it, each
lose
item in one bag.
Yes,
But-
I'm talking about like
Pretty
you got
bad.
a bag and one banana.
That is not a problem for me because those are my lunch boxes.
But
Well, I have a dog, and so
we have. I
we
mean,
pick up poop with him.
but at this point, like I don't need any more. Like everybody. I don't know if we even talk. Did we talk about that last week?
Bags?
Yeah, the grocery.
We did,
under
but
the
not
sink.
during this.
Yeah, under the sink, like
The bag of bags.
Everybody has that, but I'm telling you, this is.
It gets out of hand quick. I was really opposed to grocery pickup when it first came out. I thought this is the height of laziness. And then for some reason we had to do it. Or we ran out of time. And
Which is ironic because you're one of the most lazy people.
Yeah.
In terms of enjoying those type of things.
I thought,
bring it to me.
You'd think he would have been the guy that created it.
Yeah.
I've been dreaming for years.
You
just to
go
pull up-
in and pick up all my groceries and bring it in my car for free.
That stuff doesn't aggravate me for some reason as much as the drive-through pickup, like the I park over here for my cheeseburger because I use the
curbside pickup.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done those, but that takes much longer. I'd rather just pick it up.
The highfalutin drive-through line.
There's been times that I've done it and it's been raining out. I feel terrible that the McDonald's employees.
It's the same kid that delivers your Walmart.
He's got 2 jobs.
Two jobs.
You come out.
Hey, Andy, I didn't know you were coming here today.
You again.
Screw this big line of people that's been waiting for 20 minutes in the drive-thru. You bring me out a single coffee in the rain.
You again, Bradley. Looks like things just haven't been working out for you.
Actually, they are working out. He's working really hard, and he's going to get...
He'll never not have a job.
Exactly. You know, I remember working with you, and you remember our manager, Bob?
You talking about McDonald's?
Yeah, he told me the
Kinda.
secret. Because they'd send everybody home, and it's like... And once I asked him, I was like, I've been here since like 10, and how come you send them home and not me? And he was like, he cussed a couple times. He goes, you're the one that works.
So you're getting punished.
Oh, man, I'm telling you.
I needed the money, but I wasn't complaining. It's just I didn't understand why people came in at 4 and he sent them home at 4:30, and I've been here since 11 o'clock. And he's like, "Well, you'll work."
I have that. You guys out there obviously don't know it. Doug and I work together. That is a quandary. I talk about it all the time because I feel so bad because one dude in particular, I'm always like, well, man, just have him do it. Because he's awesome. And anytime you ask him to do anything, it's up to it and he's happy. And
he probably curses your name every day.
Dude, it's just, I mean, it sucks.
But
because
that's going to disgruntle him too eventually. Too.
Yeah, you got to take advantage of that.
The line that you don't cross.
I would almost work here just to work with the two of you.
That'd be funny.
It's not as glamorous as one would think.
I'm sure there have been moments.
Doug is a completely 100% different person at work than you do not know Doug. Doug at work is a completely different.
I think that just people get that impression.
100% true.
Does he take his job seriously?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that.
I think most people that know Doug find Doug very mellow and
chill,
easygoing, and
and
yeah, I would say that.
Wouldn't believe all these stories. By the way, you guys need to tell another story about a famous interaction with a Guns N' Roses drummer.
Were you there?
I think it was you guys.
No, I was there, but
the
I think,
Wikipedia page is what he's talking about, right?
well, the meeting of the shot.
Yeah, you guys wanted to do. That's a story.
That's what happened before. That's what.
I always heard it through you, and every time I tell the story, you say, "No, man, it ain't like you did." Whatever.
It's the whole. I mean, it's the same kind of. It's the story. The story itself is, basically the same. It's just what prompted all of that, and the Wikipedia stuff came after. But we went to a club in Atlanta while we were there, and they had this really, really like a famous, well-known karaoke night that they do there. Called Meddlesome Monday, and it's basically live band karaoke where there's a full band up on stage, and they know hundreds and hundreds of songs, and you sign up and you go up and sing just like karaoke, but
they have a list of songs that they can play for you,
like a lot more than you would like, and they're really good.
Like
they're a great
Belinda
band.
Carlisle.
Every week they added crap to it.
Yeah, they add songs every week, and it's a lot of it's 80s, 90s, like metal, glam rock.
But like Nancy Griffith for me. I mean, if I went there,
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Probably Hoobastank.
Stank. I'm in.
But
Just any Creed song, just pick it. I'm ready to go.
it's a really, really happening thing there. So every once in a while, some celebrity types will show up if they're in town or whatever. Cause
You know what's funny?
it's got a little
You
buzz
describe this, and my instinct is, how do I get in that band? I want to play in that band.
It got so big. There are
Rotations. Mm-hmm. I would do it.
They do it like
I would
every
do
night. It started as Meddlesome Monday. They do it every night of the week now. Or the last I heard. I've been gone for a minute.
Yeah. You two can be the star. You two can play Boys of Summer with the band. Mm-hmm. They probably know Boys of Summer.
Well, they had like metal night and then like
Right.
80s
Country
country
night.
I want to do
They
Will
had a Kiss
Smith's
band too, didn't they?
I'd like to do Will Smith's
Didn't they have a
Parents
Kiss
Just Don't
band?
Understand. Can I do that?
That was just a different random like tribute night, I think. It wasn't like a ongoing
I would
thing.
troll this event. Every time I see my name on the list, like, oh no, he's gonna do Rick Astley again. Don't play it, guys.
So we're there one night, and Matt Sorum is there. Guns N' Roses.
Long-time Guns N' Roses, not the original Guns N' Roses drummer, but a long-time drummer. Now, what's the name
I'm
of the
going to go
original?
ahead and put it out there, and this will be decent for blasphemy, but he's my favorite Guns N' Roses drummer.
Well, I like the original lineup, but I understand that he obviously is a great.
Appetite for
drummer.
Destruction is not my favorite Guns N' Roses record.
Oh, see, it is. I know. Yeah.
You're wrong on every word you just said.
Yeah. Appetite for
Yes.
Destruction it's the Guns N' Roses record. There aren't really any others.
You can't pick up Use Your Illusion and be like, oh, well, this is good without
the
hearing
context.
Appetite for-
Exactly.
I
Exactly. It's
disagree
like
with
going to
that.
Richie Sambora's show and not understanding who Bon Jovi is and
That-
thinking it's good. It's not good.
Fantastic.
You have to
Everyone
know.
knew. Nobody still thought that. Nobody thought that was good with knowing who he was.
Well, that's my point. You don't.
You have to know.
You have to have the context to get. It's like seeing Jesco dance, and you go, "What is this idiot dancing for? Why are we watching this?" And not have seen the documentary as why it's so funny and why you're in the realm of greatness there, watching that redneck
But
dance.
I think that's the same with just about any other band, though, wouldn't you?
yeah, right.
I mean,
but I'm just
Iconic
saying,
bands, especially.
in the case of Guns N' Roses, to me, like it's all Appetite for Destruction, and then they did some other stuff.
Nobody's going to listen to the Spaghetti
No.
Incident and think
I
this
agree
is
with
a
you.
groundbreaking band.
He's great. He's
Well,
great.
I agree with that for sure.
Who's not ground?
Nobody's going to pick up the Spaghetti Incident and be like, this is a groundbreaking
I was
band.
just getting ready to make a joke about the spaghetti incident. I remember that.
Now, I will say Estranged is probably my favorite Guns N' Roses song.
Estranged is on
Use Your Illusion 2.
2.
That's my favorite Guns N' Roses
And
song.
by far their best video.
Oh yeah, man! I used to want those Axl Rose high tops so bad. The Converse high tops that say Axl on the tongue. To this day, I would.
I wanted to know who was behind the decision to
I haven't
have
given you your-
Slash walking down the street with dolphins diving in the
Coming out of
sidewalk.
the billboard.
They talked a lot about that. I think in that book they were talking about how it's like everything changed. It was like Axl's. It became Axl's band.
I think sponsored by cocaine.
And here's the thing, though. I was just you say that, but I was a really, really big Guns N' Roses fan for a long time.
Me too.
From what I've gathered and read and looked into, I don't really think that Axl is known personally for being a drug guy.
Oh no!
I think
there's
he was just
stories
kind
of
of
Tupperware
that
bowls
much, and
full
that's
of
what,
coke.
and that's to me is what makes it so interesting. The fact that I really think Homeboy was just sitting there like, and then these dolphins are going to come out of the billboard, just like I dreamed it.
So here's what I keep going back to this book, but there's a lot of great stories in it. And one of the stories is that it's a little known fact that Slash's mom once dated David Bowie. So Slash knew
And
David,
worked for David Geffen.
probably. So Slash knew David Bowie growing up, like as a step kid almost. You know what I mean?
That's cool.
And so here they are at the Troubadour or something. They were breaking and they were getting big. And the security guy comes up to the guy in the sound booth like, I got to put this guy here. There's nowhere else I can put him. I'm going to put, and brings into the sound booth David Bowie to stand there because he wanted to hear the band. And at the end of the night, David Bowie is running down the street being chased by Axl Rose, yelling at him, cursing, and trying to beat him up because he said something to his girlfriend or something. He said hello. Of course, the girlfriend's there, in the sound booth too. And he's talking to her, so he comes off the stage and chases David Bowie down the street.
You'd have to be out of your mind on drugs to want to beat up David Bowie.
That's what I was getting at.
Absolutely not. And let me tell you why. He was smart enough to know if I take a swing at David Bowie, everybody in town and everybody in the U.S. is going to be talking about us.
So
tomorrow.
you said he was a genius. He was a marketing genius. He knows.
Sure.
If I beat up Cher, everybody's gonna.
Sure.
Man,
Sort of
I wish
before
he'd
the-
have beat up Cher. That would have been amazing.
You know what I mean?
She's an alien.
Because he got in trouble for comments and stuff a lot too back in the day.
Yeah. So you
There
think,
was the,
you think that
the-
was him being smart?
There was the famous Nirvana fight at the 1992 Music Awards.
Yeah, like the argument or something. Yeah. That's what it was in that book. It talked about Guns wanting to take Nirvana out on the road, and Nirvana said, "We're not going with them."
What a weird tour.
I know. No, a weird, kind of awesome tour. I mean, it would have been kind of awesome back then.
Two completely different fan bases.
But in the same body right here, I guess. I'm big enough to embody them
And
both.
I think he was probably at some level trying to stay relevant.
That's what it sounds like to me.
This would have been 93, probably 92, 93. And they're hitting. And at the same time, Skid Row's talking about how they were playing. They started a tour with 20,000 people everywhere they went, and they're at the end. They're in like these halls with 300 people, 250 people, because that's how quick it is. In the same way that you beat up Cher and you're famous, then you do the wrong thing and you become you're out of step.
Yeah, it happened quick. I was a teenager. I remember this happening with, all of a sudden there's hair metal bands on MTV every day, and then all of a sudden it's Nirvana and
Alice in
Chains and Pearl Jam. And
Alice in Chains were kind of a metal band.
Them and Soundgarden, I think, are much more metal than they are alternative.
But they had a
Alice in
toe in
Chains
it.
so much.
I loved everything they did.
Are you serious?
I had all their albums.
I'm kind of indifferent, I guess. If something comes on, there's one song, Wood, on the single soundtrack. I can handle that song. Everything else.
Is there a better
Soundtrack?
than singles?
No. Mm-mm. What would be a better soundtrack musically?
I can't remember what else was on it.
Wow.
Two Paul Westerberg songs. I did not know who Paul Westerberg and their replacements were.
State of Love and Trust.
State of Love and Trust. Breathe by Pearl Jam.
Drown. Smashing
Drown
Pumpkins.
by Smashing Pumpkins. That was a great song. And then lots of other stuff that had some airplay, but
Was it the Screaming Trees? Were they on
Screaming
it?
Trees. Yeah, they had that one hit from that album. But then two Paul Westerberg songs, which, as far as, on that record, the two songs that didn't fit in were the two Paul Westerberg songs. And I have carried Paul Westerberg and the Replacements now for almost 30 years because of hearing that record.
I think Reality Bites might be close.
It has a Posey song on it, so
Last
it's not
Action Hero, y'all.
I love that one because Big Gun
Oh, yeah.
was
Big Gun.
AC/DC
was fantastic.
Tesla, man.
AC/DC's on pretty much every movie soundtrack.
Big Gun
other
was
than-
like one
other
of the
than
first
several.
songs I learned how to play on guitar.
I remember you playing Aerosmith on that Epiphone. Do 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 do.
At the same time, 1993.
We need a big summer action movie. Somebody get me Michael Bay and AC/DC.
Pretty much, yeah.
Everything will be all right. So yeah, we were at the bar and Matt Sorum from Guns N' Roses was there.
It's a continuation.
We really got off track.
It's okay to get off track. This is a podcast, and
So yeah, we run into we're stoked because Matt Sorum's there, and he is mobbed, like surrounded. So I get this brilliant idea that I think's gonna, dude, he'll talk to us,
Who's the original drummer for Guns N' Roses?
Steven Adler.
Okay, it's important.
Oh.
It's important.
Oh, sorry.
to know.
Yeah. If you don't know
If you
that.
don't know who that is, you're not.
Yeah.
The setup doesn't count. So
Yeah.
Matt Sorum is the replacement for Steven Adler.
Which was way better. So we're trying to, Doug's brother and myself were trying to talk to him and say, hey, or whatever. So we go over to the bar and we get 3 shots of Jägermeister, which we used to drink a lot of back then. If I smelled Jägermeister right now, I could hit that wall over there, projectile vomit.
Yeah.
Like, ugh.
It's awful.
So we kind of shimmy our way through the crowd of just screaming, drunken 30-somethings or whatever, what have you. And we're like, hey man, like, look, we don't want to bother you or anything. We don't want an autograph. Just want to be able to tell people that I drink a shot with Matt Sorum, man. Here you go. And I tried to hand him a shot. And he just looked at me just like, yeah, man, maybe 10 years ago, man, I don't do that stuff anymore. And just, we were stupid anyway. And so, of course, we feel slighted.
I think you were brilliant.
We feel slighted by this. We're like, psh.
Don't you know who I am?
So we respond, well,
Don't you know who I think I am?
So our response was we hold our shots up and go, well, then here's to Steven Adler. And we drink the shots. And
I'm sure he responded very well
he
to
didn't
that.
dig that
He
too
didn't
much.
dig Okay, fine.
What's-
Did he just look at y'all like disgusted?
Yeah,
like,
he
have
was
you
pretty-
seen Steven
he was pretty
Adler
bummed out.
lately?
So I had Doug there in my mind in this story, but Doug wasn't there.
Well,
I was at
pick
the
up
show
after
that night, but I was not there for the.
The shot, okay. The attempted shot.
What that inspired was the Wikipedia fiasco
Right.
with you and PJ.
I don't think I've heard this.
Well, it was
Okay.
more PJ than me.
Oh, okay.
But And I couldn't tell you everything that was put on his Wikipedia page, but you know how you can just get on there and add facts? But he basically took Matt Sorum's life story on Wikipedia, and
because he felt slighted.
Because he felt slighted by Matt Sorum not doing a shot of Jaeger. I wouldn't have done the shot of Jaeger with him. Jeez.
Yeah, you don't know what somebody's handing you.
Yeah,
it's true.
It is, yeah.
Ugh. So he put a bunch of fact snippets about his douchebag drummer gloves, and would just include them just pretty brilliantly. Actually,
It was a long thought out story of how he came to start wearing drummer gloves.
right. And then when they talked about Velvet Revolver getting together and stuff, PJ included this little snippet about Slash thought about his old buddy Matt Sorum, but told him if he was going to have to join Velvet Revolver, he'd have to ditch the douchebag drummer gloves. And they've been, so that was it. And it stayed up for like 2 weeks. We'd go back and check, and nobody had messed with it. And eventually PJ got an email from Wikipedia, just in bold capital letters said, "Vandal."
I think I'd like to think that Matt Sorum just had like a great night that night, and just and he's like, "Man, it's good to be Matt Sorum. I'm just gonna check my Wikipedia page and just revel in this for a while." What is
Wait,
this?
did he go home and do it that very night?
Do what?
Did he go do the Wikipedia thing
I
that
think
very
it was
night?
the next day. Yes. It was like the next morning I got
I
up.
can't believe what he did, dude. You know what? Get me my computer.
He had all night to think about it.
It's a great prank.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
And why gloves?
Because it was the lamest thing about the
Do you have a
dude.
screenshot of this? I actually would love to have a
No,
screenshot.
this
Yes.
was before screenshots, I believe.
What if there's an edit history in Wikipedia where you can go look at a document?
The Wayback Machine, the internet.
If
Do we
you
know
could-
when this happened? Maybe we can go
That'd be
to the.
interesting.
No way to know really an exact date on that, or month, or possibly year. I mean, I think we know what decade it happened in. It was in the aughts, wasn't it? Yeah, definitely the
I'm
aughts.
sure there's probably not a huge edit history on Matt Sorum Wikipedia pages.
I think they'd let us in on that, years later. They're like, that was funny. Okay,
no.
you guys.
Yeah, you got us.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, here you are telling, hopefully somehow I can get Matt Sorum in the metadata of this podcast.
Yeah.
And he's out there listening to his name anywhere
It's
it
like,
appears.
finally, I found him.
Well, sadly, he'll find a podcast talking about him and think, I got to listen to that. They're talking about me.
I remember this.
You guys.
Why does it say in the description Matt Sorum drum gloves?
During the course of this, we do have to name this episode. And
that's true.
Matt Sorum's drum gloves is a contender. It's also, don't you know who I think I am?
That's a good segue, because you guys think you know who I am. We're going to find out,
I know who you are.
because we have a little game
And you
in
brought it.
reference to my birthday. You know what song's been in my head all day?
I'm afraid to ask.
Ever since I woke up this morning thinking about it being my birthday, I keep hearing the
50 Cent.
the Cartman strutting around the my birthday.
We're going to take you to
Casa Bonita.
Yeah, we're going to take you to That's a real place.
birthday. There's guys
and the
are trying
creators-
to buy that place.
But one of the creators had an opportunity to buy it, and he was real excited. He wanted to make it into a big theme park and stuff. He was going to buy Casa Bonita.
So here's what we're going to do. This is going to be good. I got faith in this. I've got 8 questions here. They're multiple choice.
Have you went over this with Doug yet? The questions?
As much
Does
as
he know?
No. Nobody knows what the questions are.
Oh, okay.
I came up with these last night.
Your wife came up with them.
No. She helped for one, I think.
Okay.
Because it was I'm actually a lot dumber than I thought I was. It actually took a second to do it. But so there's 8 questions, multiple choice. You guys can ask questions to me before you answer, what have you.
Okay.
And I give you a scenario, and you pick. And I've already picked the answers. They're underlined, so I can't change the answer now. Like it's the same as I picked last night. And whoever gets the most right will be my best friend.
That sounds fair. Whoever gets them all wrong.
Are these questions written in your GM notebook?
Getting ready to ask,
Thanks, honey.
but I thought I don't want to put that on the recording. I had a new notebook, so I decided to write some things down about myself.
My wife got me a lovely birthday gift, and I love it. And exactly what I said would happen just happened.
No, I'm complimenting you on it. I want to know if you're putting it to use.
No, it's not.
It's a very thoughtful gift. For real.
Shut up.
That's good.
I
It
wish
was
I
a
had
good
something for me that said "good man."
Yeah.
But you don't.
Great man.
I'd settle for
Go
good.
ahead, get it out of your
I settle
system.
for good. Good means your intentions.
No.
Great means your outcome.
So you guys ready for the first
Gray
question?
man?
Okay, how are we going to do this? You're going to ask a question,
Close
and
enough.
we're. I mean,
ask you a question.
How can I cheat off of Andy? Because I don't know how to. I'm not
I'm going to keep track
answer
over
this.
here. I'm going to ask a question.
I should have brought little whiteboards for us to go.
Yeah. Like the old days, chalkboards.
So here's the first question. It's guess A, B, C, or D. I've earned so many brownie points for being an amazing husband that my wife encourages me to buy yet another guitar for myself.
I have always been curious about this.
Which guitar do I get?
Wait,
This is the question is
how do you get the brownie points? Like, why is she letting you buy a
No,
guitar?
the question is which
No.
guitar would I pick?
Can it be any
That's
guitar?
They're listed
You
on
have
here.
4 options.
Okay.
One's a Flying V.
A, B, C, or D.
You have 4 options. You have to pick which guitar that I pick. I haven't got there yet.
This is all imaginary. He doesn't get any brownie points.
yeah.
And she never says,
Yeah,
please
she-
buy a new
this-
guitar.
I always wondered how you were like, yeah, I bought a new guitar. I'm like, how does that happen?
No, I'm not. No, that's not going to happen.
It's
This
the
is
brownie.
this is an imaginary world.
Okay, sorry.
A Fender Jazzmaster. B, a Gibson Les Paul. C, another Gretsch guitar. Or D, a Gibson Firebird.
You made these too tough. I mean,
I actually straight up took my time and made
What was
this,
A again?
I'll read them all again. A is a Fender Jazzmaster.
Okay.
B is a Gibson Les Paul. C is another Gretsch. And D is a Gibson Firebird.
I can do this
Which
like a
one do I- I know
Microsoft.
which one.
Like there are 2 of them that clearly are not it,
Yeah.
and then the other 2, it's like, well, which one? I mean, because you have in fact bought another Gretsch before.
Yeah, I don't
You've had
think
a
you'll
couple
want
Gretches.
3.
But yeah, at this stage today,
I think it's D.
I'm going to go with D. I'm not cheating off Andy.
I'm going with A. Jazzmaster.
Final answers. Any questions?
I'm going to say D because, I mean, I can almost kind of lean towards what Doug is saying because I think that's a guitar from your past that you would have wanted.
D.
But A.
He's talking about the Les Paul.
No, I'm talking
the Jazz.
the Jazzmaster.
Oh, okay.
You're
I know
saying
you've-
Jazzmaster?
I know you've
Are you
owned Les
saying
Pauls
Jazzmaster?
before.
I think it's a Jazzmaster.
I have never. I've owned a Les Paul. I've never owned a Gibson Les Paul.
I think we've had
Personally.
conversations about Gibson guitars.
It's too tough.
If
I also feel
I'm
like
on one.
I've heard you say you don't like Les Pauls.
yeah, that's what I thought too.
All right, so let's hear the answer.
That's not true.
Let's hear the answer. There's a de facto answer.
I think it's D.
I'm going with D.
D is my final answer.
A.
A.
The answer is
The answer is C. I would get
another Gretsch.
Another
Oh,
Gretsch.
see, this is like a Microsoft
It's
exam
all
because
I want.
clearly-
I don't ever want to play.
I have heard him say before, like, I don't need any other guitar now. Now that I've found these,
I mean,
And what
fatty
happened? And
Gretsch.
what happened? I bought that G&L Telecaster recently, and what happened? I sold it.
Did you sell it? Okay. Yeah, that's right. I sold it for you. I remember.
But why own 3 Gretches? I mean, how different can they be?
Because
This one's blue with 8 orange tuners.
it's like having 3 pair of cargo shorts. Do you really just want 1 pair of cargo shorts, or isn't it better to have 3 pair of
So
cargo
I have to make a statement here.
You have listened to the first episode with your wife.
Yes, and I did not include a critical part of the story
Oh, she quickly pointed out that you.
that I only told half of it to make myself look better.
You tell them.
Andy.
You know what? I'll go with you next week.
No. So it wasn't that she just randomly threw my clothes away.
She had good reason. We knew that.
That's what I've been telling everybody.
They were... My Batman shirt especially was old and pit stained. So that was the motivation behind
So
throwing
you
it away.
retire it and hang it up in the house.
No, she was like, not only do you look like you're dressing like it's 1995, but these clothes are gross.
And you look like a 12-year-old wearing a Batman shirt.
Exactly.
To be fair,
Everybody wants a Batman shirt.
And
it
it
goes without saying. But to be fair, if I am not mistaken, I know what Batman shirt you're talking about, and it's straight up from it. It's
I bought it at
Michael
Wal-
Keaton era.
right, but I mean, I
have seen me in it 100
can
times.
attest to the
The
fact
grossness
that
of it?
you have had this for decades.
And it was gross back
It
then.
was definitely gross. I have a Superman shirt that is the same way. I mean, these are no longer outside shirts. These are...
Do you still have the Right On shirt?
No.
I wish.
Speaking of 12-year-old in a Batman shirt, here's me at 12 years old in my Batman shirt right there.
Oh man,
There's a whether it's a meme
Small
or
mullet.
there's an internet thing I've seen multiple times that says it's like an inspirational quote or whatever, and it says, "Whatever you do, do it with the confidence of an 8-year-old in a Batman t-shirt." And I think that's awesome.
All
So
right.
far, goose egg.
How many questions
We all hate
do you have?
If you don't
think he said
know
8.
me by now, you guys never know me.
Who
No,
sang
you
that
don't.
song? Who sang that song?
No idea.
Was that wasn't Lionel Richie, was it?
No, not Lionel Richie.
I don't know.
I'm going to have my own quiz here in a minute.
Anyway, so we go to the movies, and I get to pick a flick.
Whatever option Batman is.
Well, that could be
Or Kevin Smith.
A, the new Kevin Smith movie.
It's that.
B,
It's that.
a documentary about the band Superdrag.
Ooh.
C, the next Batman movie. D,
All of the
National
above.
Lampoon's Christmas Vacation on the big screen.
You have intentionally made these impossible.
Absolutely.
B.
Okay, read them
No
again.
doubt about it.
Read them again.
I get to pick the movie. These are the choices. The new Kevin Smith movie. And that's just theoretical, like Kevin Smith puts out a new movie.
Yeah.
B, a documentary about the band Superdrag.
Would it have new information in it that you didn't know about them?
I don't think it even matters. That's got to be the answer.
It could, sure. Yeah. Brand new. Yeah. C, the next Batman movie, whatever it may be.
I mean, you like Batman, but not as much as Kevin Smith or Superdrag.
Or D, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation on the big screen, which they play from time to time, but I've never been able to
What was
go.
B again?
Superdrag.
Documentary about Superdrag.
I mean, you met Superdrag guys. You know them. You need to watch that. There's a new Batman you ain't seen.
But it has been
These
Affleck in it.
these are the questions.
All right.
It's not like Batman's going away. I mean, if Superdrag has a documentary,
none of these are going to go away. All these movies, let's say they're going to be in the theater for the next month, but I get to pick which one I
man,
can't.
it all
the one
depends on your mood.
The one I cannot wait to see the most.
Okay.
Well-
That's a different question. The one I can't wait to see the most.
I'm still
Like
going
I see I see that it's an option, and I have to see it right now.
I'm still going to be.
I'm kind of leaning towards D because that's the screwball question.
What was D option again? I've already
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation on the screen.
That is the outlier on that. I'm going to skip that.
Because I think any day of the week you would see a Kevin Smith movie, a Superdrag documentary, or
the new Batman.
the new Batman. That is a special event. So I'm going with D.
They have them. I've never made it to one, but they have them.
I'm going with that one.
You're going with Christmas
Superdrag?
Vacation.
Yes.
Ooh, I'm going with Superdrag. I'm going to go
Same.
Superdrag.
Final answers.
Is?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I picked the Superdrag documentary.
Right.
absolutely.
See, that one I played, I said, what would I want? Because on the last one, I didn't do that.
I was thought he was intentionally trying to be shifty.
Huh? See, you gotta.
I think he is trying to be shifty. All right,
He is.
let's hit it. Let's hit number three. I
it's
got
not gonna
one.
be easy, fellas.
Yep.
This is you're trying to win my friendship.
Yay.
It's important. Okay, question 3. What do I consider the best day of my life?
Oh, I know this one. Before
A.
you do the options.
The birth of my son. B. Playing a festival in front of thousands of people in Atlanta. C. My wedding day.
Is your family going to hear this?
They're going to hear it. It's not the wedding.
Or D. Finally signing an independent record contract.
1, A.
Yeah.
It's A. 100%. You don't even have to do the options again. Andy,
Would
pick
you
A.
like to hear him again, Andy?
It's A.
I think I'm just putting too much thought into this because it's the A is the answer you're supposed to have, but
It is the answer in his case.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I guess
I would like to point out that these questions are geared towards actually knowing me very well.
Yeah.
So you today or you?
No, it's A. It's just A.
I mean, I've heard you say A, and I'm about to have one, so I'll probably feel that way. But
So think of it this way. Here's a reverse question way to ask this question. Would you do any of the other 3 things if you had to
give up
the put the kid on the sidelines? And no.
Right.
The question is that actual day when this happened.
Wait.
Be quiet.
It's not
Be
A.
quiet.
Be quiet.
It's not A. I'm not going to tell you why, but it's not A.
The question is that day. What was my best day?
I'm going to
Again, the birth of my son.
Mm-hmm.
That's A.
It's not that one.
B. Playing a festival in front of thousands of people in Atlanta. That's B. C. My wedding day. Or D. Finally signing an independent record contract.
So okay, I'm getting a hint here that it's sort of a trick question. You got to know what the day was like. And I do know what the day was like when you had your child. It was not a great day. It was a horrible story, right?
Yeah.
So I understand. I'm still going with A.
I
Safe
understand that too, and I still think I'm going with A.
I'm going
A.
with the record.
The record deal?
The independent record deal.
All right. Let's hear it.
Final answers?
Yep, that's it.
It was my wedding day.
We all lost.
Yeah.
Man, we're all shoveling snow on that
You
one.
totally, if you would have just kept your mouth shut, because you totally
Clue them
got,
in.
no, you stayed. You stayed, didn't you?
I stayed on A. Yeah, I didn't change a thing.
Yeah, the
I thought you guys
actual
got
birth
married.
of my son was a nightmare. We'll totally get into that on another podcast.
So-
him being here and this is
I would've
no
said-
one start.
Well, this
hating
will
me.
explain why I've already lost the game. I'm not your best friend because I don't know the story. I know you got married. I don't know
I thought you guys got married during the pandemic.
It's you're looking too deep into that. It was just when we got married. It was
Didn't you get married in your living room?
it was the best day ever.
when we got married. We finally legitimately we were a family. In my eyes, it had all come to fruition. We had a house.
I can understand that.
We had a house. We had the kids, everything. But
get
that to me, legitimate.
I understand what you mean.
Legitimate.
Legitimized.
Logistically?
I was, we were a family. I had.
You had all the checks.
I guess I know more of you of the other 2 options being your ultimate life goal of being a rock star and signed and all this stuff.
Nah, but
Yeah, exactly.
and the kid thing that was again, it was
Independent
personally.
label.
Eventually, at the end of that, you're just getting, your Wikipedia webpage changed
Exactly.
Again,
by jerks.
purposely throwing you guys curveballs.
I mean, good job.
Yeah, so let's get through these because I'm not doing well. We may as well.
I haven't gotten a single one right.
Well, yeah,
I got one.
You're tied for the lead.
One.
I'm tied for the lead.
with
I'm
one
still
with
in the
one
game.
apiece. With one apiece.
Oh wow.
Pretty pathetic.
I get my choice of a celebrity to have coffee with.
Okay, we're back to Kevin Smith, or your favorite Batman, which is Ben Affleck.
The only worst
Ben
one's
Affleck.
George Clooney.
Ben Affleck. You don't need to re-up it. It's Ben Affleck.
Whenever you guys are through.
It's the fat dude from Mallrats.
Ben Affleck.
A. Billy Joe Armstrong.
Oh, it's that one.
okay.
It's that
B,
one.
Ben Affleck.
I love that he's on there.
Oh, man.
C. John Cusack.
Oh, give it. Come on.
D. Larry David.
It's A.
Man.
It's
I
probably
did good.
A.
I
That's
did
a tough
good.
one.
I'm telling you, man.
That's a tough
It's
one.
probably A.
It has to be A. He shaped your entire teenage year.
I know. I said
read 'em
B,
all
Ben
again.
Affleck.
I mean,
We
I like
said
Curb Your
it, but I'm-
Enthusiasm too, but I wouldn't pick it over,
Yeah.
the musician I
It's not
idolize.
just Curb, though. It's not just Curb. It's
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld.
Read them all again. It's not Larry David.
Read him again.
Yeah,
A
read 'em.
is Billy Joe Armstrong.
Yeah.
B, Mr. Ben Affleck.
Mister.
C is John Cusack.
I mean, I like.
D is Larry David.
It's not John Cusack because if you did get to sit down with him, he would be like, "When can I leave?" Billy Joe Armstrong would sit down, would bring probably his kids in, and you guys could sit down and have a cup of coffee.
I can't think of
and
a
talk.
single other human being that had more influence on your early life than him.
By the way, anybody listening doesn't know who Billy Joe Armstrong is. He was in Bon Jovi's original drummer.
He was Richie Sambora's replacement.
With Richie Sambora's replacement.
If it's
Bon
not
Jovi.
A, I don't. Then
he couldn't pull off the duster, so they brought Richie Sambora back.
He wrote Piano Man, right?
He did.
Yeah.
If it's not A, then I don't know you at all.
I agree with A. It's number one. It's A.
Man, that's tough, man. It'd be either A or D.
John Cusack, you loved that one movie. And
That's
maybe
not
the one
true.
where
That's
he
not
held
true.
up
I
the...
mean, I know
That's not
he's-
true. John Cusack is my favorite actor.
But there's some story too where you almost got like.
But again,
you almost get to meet him or something.
But
like
again,
that.
he wouldn't...
I did, and was not able to go. And just as a side note, as far as what you were saying about how John Cusack would react,
Yeah.
I've heard
You heard the opposite.
I heard the exact opposite, but I would have
You
agreed
didn't
with
emulate John Cusack.
Right. You didn't want to be like him necessarily other than own a record store. You probably would own a record store.
John
But that's
Cusack
one
does
character.
not
I
down.
think he wanted to be like
I did
anybody
get
on
a
this
second
list
job. I
except
did get
Billy
a second
Joe.
job as a record store clerk because I was so.
Have you
obsessed
seen
with
the
it.
abomination of them remaking that
I
on
just
Hulu?
saw
They're gonna
a
remake
trailer
what?
for that last week, and I was.
They're going to remake...
They already have.
What?
It's a television series.
Of that, what's the name of the movie?
it's
High Fidelity.
Yeah, High Fidelity. Yeah,
They're
they
remaking-
remade it, and it's got a chick in it.
It's
The girl is running the record store.
Zoe Kravitz, which
Yeah.
is Catwoman in the new Batman flick. She is the daughter of Lisa. Is it Lisa Bonet?
And Lenny Kravitz.
And Lenny Kravitz.
And she looks like a mix
She
of both of
plays
them.
the John Cusack role.
Okay, so they went...
And from what I've seen for the
They woke
trailer,
up,
it's
man.
kind
They
of
woke
like
up.
word for word, like
I mean,
the script.
we all
of the
need to do
movie.
that too.
Does it have Jack Black in it?
I'm sure there's.
He's going to... You
I'm
know
sure
he's
there's some
going
loud
to...
fat dude.
He's going to walk in as a customer that gets dissed. He's going to walk in and like, I really want some Stevie Wonder. That's what he's going to do. I already got that written.
See,
He'll somehow play the devil. You know.
Show his butt crack. All right,
terrible.
Back to this question. It is. I'm going to go. I'm going to go with a Billy Joe Armstrong because
Definitely
of
A.
the reality. The
I
reality
hate
of it.
to go with them, but I'm going to too.
Let's see.
final answer.
Final answer.
Are you sure?
Hit it. Tell us.
Everybody wins.
All right, we knew it.
Everybody is on the board.
If I knew a Green Day song, I would sing it right now.
Larry David. Now, Larry David, I would be. I would
20
love
popped
to.
in
I
my
would
head
love
at
to
one
meet Larry
time when you
David,
said
but
that.
that's the
I was
one.
gonna do one,
That's,
but I couldn't.
Too many songs.
I would love to meet Larry David, but that's the guy that's going to make you sorry that you met him. I would feel.
I
He
think
would be
John
so-
Cusack a little bit too. I don't think he's kind.
Yeah.
I bet he's not kind.
That was my Larry David.
Meh. I've seen better guys. You're not a good guy.
I think Ben Affleck would probably try to come
I
on
do.
to you.
I did.
I like tacos and burritos.
I did hear a story about. It wasn't like a friend of mine, but it was a story a friend of mine told me of someone they knew. As far as in Atlanta, they started making tons and tons of movies in Atlanta.
Yeah.
A lot of people there work on flicks now. Like it's very, very common.
They call
to be
them
like,
flicks.
oh, I work on. I do
do a flick.
catering. I do this. What have you.
Yeah.
So this buddy of mine was telling me the story of a girl he knew worked on a movie. They remade Three Stooges a few years back, and it was apparently just an
Terrible?
abomination.
Yeah.
But Larry David was in the movie very, very briefly, and they had a rap party at the end, and Larry David was there. Mm-hmm. So this girl sees Larry David there, and she tells her friend, she's like, "Oh my God, I would really like to meet Larry David, but he's like, just go ahead, just go say hi." No, I don't want to bother him. And so she doesn't, and she just kind of sits for a while and kind of leaves it alone. And then finally, her friend is like, look over there. He's standing there right now by himself. You're not going to bother him. just go over and say hey. So she finally gets up the courage. She walks over and she goes, Mr. David, I'm sorry. I don't want to be that type of person. I don't want to bother you. I just wanted to say I'm a really, really big fan. And Larry David says, and slowly walks away.
Really?
Which is exactly what you would want to happen.
Yeah,
That's and that's what's brilliant about Larry David, because he's created this
constant
character
troll.
now that he can get away with being that guy because
She loves
you get
that
what
story.
you wanted.
She probably loves to tell that story, even though
She should.
it's not what
Good one.
it's not what she expected. Probably.
I think it's exactly what she expected.
All right.
It's not what she hoped for.
Next question.
So far, Doug and Wes, you're tied neck and neck at 2. Andy with 1.
I'm gonna pull this out.
I'm disappointed
This
in
is
myself.
question 4 or 5.
This is question 5. There are 8.
Oh wow.
I get my choice of celebrity to smack in the face.
Oh man, this is great.
I choose A, Donald Trump. B, Guy Fieri. C,
Wow.
Machine Gun Kelly.
Oh gosh.
I know the answer to
D,
this one.
Joe Rogan.
It's C.
Machine Gun Kelly.
It's definitely C.
I can't believe Jared Leto is not on this list. I was waiting on Jared Leto, and that was going to be mine.
You didn't think about
Didn't
it.
think of him.
Well, that tells you it's not him.
Yeah.
You would have thought of
I
it.
changed my answer.
No.
Read
I'm
it
gonna-
one more time. Donald Trump.
One more time. Number A.
Number A.
Donald Trump is A. B is Guy Fieri. C is Machine Gun Kelly. D is Joe Rogan.
We've had a conversation about this. It's C.
I'm gonna go with C too.
Man, I would.
Why
Who's the
Guy
second one
Fieri?
again? Guy Fieri.
Guy
Fieri,
Fieri.
That's
what is
B.
he?
Man, I want to say him just because that'd be the one I'd pick.
I actually thought about you when I was writing it down, and I thought about putting Gordon Ramsay because I knew it would get you fired
God,
up.
I hate Gordon Ramsay.
You love him.
Oh man,
Would you go on a Gordon Ramsay show and cook stuff for him?
Top level chef.
Never do it.
America's Next Top Doug. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go C too.
C.
C.
Everybody's picking Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah.
Everybody is right.
Ah.
We've had that conversation, I
Yeah,
believe.
we
But I
recently
didn't
had a
know if you would
conversation.
remember.
You see that in the news recently about him in the mute thing with his guitar?
Yes, I saw that.
He has a mute switch, so he doesn't have to mute.
And they just leave it off.
I haven't read this
Have
yet,
you
but I
seen
can't wait
him?
to get home.
Have you seen him in Jackass, the new Jackass movie?
He's in it.
Yes.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, he's in there for a
You'll
second.
like the scene if you want to smack him in the face.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Oh.
And he was in the Motley Crue movie.
Was he really?
Yes.
Okay.
He's
What did
in
he play?
everything. You cannot
play in the Motley
escape
Crue?
him.
I think he played Tommy Lee.
Yeah, he played Tommy Lee.
Wow.
You
Yeah.
can't escape him, dude. He's everywhere, and it's just.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
All right, next question.
If Machine Gun Kelly played an Alice in Chains song, I would probably pass out. Just,
That's it.
He's into pop
would
punk
ha-
now.
I
He's
would
going to
have
start
to-
covering Green Day songs.
I would have to have high blood pressure medication.
It would turn from
You know
smack
what?
in the face to murder on
He's
you.
going to redo.
He's going to redo a Green Day
He's
album.
going to
he's
redo
bad.
Dookie.
Man.
Him and Megan Fox are going to redo Dookie.
An acoustic version of Duke.
Machine Gun, if you're out there, please don't ruin Green Day.
We don't want Josh
for
to
Josh.
die.
Oh. Yeah, this next one's called When I Come Around and Shit. Okay, so we're going to take a trip. We're going to take a vacation. I get to choose the location. I choose A, Florida. B, Los Angeles. C, New York City.
And
or
D, up John Cusack's button to the left.
D,
That's Maine, right?
Nashville. Nashville.
Nashville.
I'm going to go with D because that's where coffee is.
You want to be with coffee?
I think he would want to go visit him.
I don't think he wants to go.
All of those cities aren't very cities.
Maybe L.A.
States. It's kind of weird because you got cities and then states. So I'm throwing all the states you set out.
So it's Nashville and L.A.
and New York. And then
But
Florida.
New York,
Florida.
Florida.
Los Angeles. New York.
Honey, come to Florida. We miss you.
Maybe.
Is
When I
New York-
say Florida, I'm talking like Florida Beach. Like
Well, the whole
let's say
thing's a beach.
let's say
like the entire
let's say
coast.
Miami. Let's say Miami.
Okay.
Scoot that sucker close to you. Pull it in there, boss.
I'm going to put a second one on the other side of your face.
And
Right.
when you say New York, you mean New York City.
Yeah.
You don't mean like just anywhere in New York.
So it's New York, L.A., or Nashville.
Right.
I mean, you've been to Nashville a bunch of times.
Yeah, Nashville's
Yeah.
like a place you have
So
hung several
I would say you've never been to L.A., and I'm picking L.A.
I mean,
L.A.
I don't know if I remember you ever saying you've been to New York City.
I kind of think it's going to be L.A. I mean, my gut says Nashville, so you could go make fun of coffee, but
You could do that from anywhere.
Make a whole trip out
coffee.
of it.
yeah.
It's going to be awesome, man. Get in the car. We're gonna go
Congratulations
make
to
fun of this
Coffee.
guy.
He got married a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, congrats.
Congrats, Coffee.
I think I'm going LA too.
Yeah, I'll change my answer to that.
L.A. You might run into Billy Joe there. If
You can go see where, Molly Crew and all these guys played.
And New York City sucks now, so
I don't think it's New York. It's definitely not Florida.
It's L.A.
you don't want to just
hit
get
it.
off of the plane and hear saxophones.
You hate the heat. You would never go to Florida.
Where am I hearing?
New York City. I mean, that's like
You belong to the night. All right, what is it? It's L.A.
Are we LA across the board?
I think so, yeah.
The answer is C, New York City.
Wow.
no kidding.
New York is
What the?
that is the wind.
That is the wind.
That was Joe.
They don't know about that.
Okay, no Joe here.
We are
got
we
you.
are we are
Haunted
live and direct from a possible
From the neither world.
haunted fish store.
right behind you.
I mean, that's cool.
Ghost fish.
The answer is New York. I have only been to New York once, and it was my favorite place I've ever been.
Why?
What? Yeah,
I
why?
loved it. I just absolutely
They
loved
got a
it.
subway out here, boy.
It's different now, man.
I can go down
the
in
whole-
that.
Ain't what it used to
But
be.
yeah, I wasn't. I mean, this was pre-COVID.
I would go
Right.
to New York if it was 1975.
I loved it. It was great.
Then you had a chance to be murdered by
The mob.
David Berkowitz,
That was, yeah. That
son
too.
of Sam. You go out, get with a blonde, and kiss her in the street, and hope David Berkowitz shoots at
I mean,
you.
your chances of getting murdered back then just walking around was pretty high.
Especially if you owed the mob money.
Yes.
Yeah, I have no rhyme or reason. Like, we just hung out. We just walked around, and just the whole vibe of it, and just being there is very, very
I was there one
different
day.
and cool.
One day.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I would love to go there too, but not now.
Crossing the street,
super
very,
expensive.
very strange.
If I had to pick any of
Super
those now,
expensive.
I would probably pick Nashville.
He
out
had
of
crossing
those
the
choices.
street, and Andy goes, super expensive.
They charge you for that.
That's funny.
They'll nickel and dime you for everything.
They will.
over there.
There's
Trying to
good-
cross the street, $5.
I got
10.
Hey, I got a crossing for everybody here. It's only 10 cents. Everybody goes to Ron's corner to cross.
And everybody gets jaywalking tickets.
He's not in with the mob there,
I
Ron.
can see the title of this notebook, and it just says "Just Josh" on the page you wrote.
That's
on
the
your
name of the
answer.
game, remember?
Yeah.
Remember from the Will and Grace reference. Just Josh.
I edited that out, and we'll edit that out.
Just Josh.
It's good being
GM.
it's good being the editor.
So you're looking at the answers.
No, if I was looking at the answers, I would have gotten them right.
That's true. You're not.
You had to write down your answers.
Because that way I had to.
He wants to prove that he's not changing it on the
well,
fly.
This is not a video podcast.
All right, I see.
Nobody can see
I
that.
see.
you've
I want to
done
be
that.
fair.
I was gonna say, like, how could we get these right if you can't even get
I want to
them
be
right?
fair. That's so. There's no question of
Gotcha.
7. I'm tasked with making a movie out of an existing video game franchise.
Wow, this is a great
Oh.
question.
I choose
I already know the answer. to this
A.
one.
Castlevania. And we're not talking. I know Netflix did a little anime cartoon. Like, this is a
We're
live
talking about,
action.
you're going to do it right. Whatever you do, you're
right.
going to do it right.
Right. Like, in theory,
It's
I've got
Contra.
the means to
It's
do this.
I think
Contra.
they already made these movies.
Contra.
But go ahead.
B. Contra.
Yeah.
I guess.
C is Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Oh no. D. Toe Jam and Earl.
It's Contra.
B, Contra.
Mike Tyson's Punch Out, man.
Uppercut.
Dude, I feel like we've talked
Get
about
Larry
that
David
before.
to say uppercut.
I know I've talked about it before.
uppercut.
I kind of thought Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was going to be on there.
Yeah, I wonder why.
But that's not just a video game. It's that's an existing. Well, first of all,
It became a video game
It's
because of
several
franchise.
movies already.
Yeah.
That's why I was confused.
And Axl Rose didn't show up for a show one time because he wanted to finish the end of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
That's a great story.
That was one
It was
where
part 2, I think.
I think that
Secret
was
of the Ooze.
The one with Vanilla Ice was in.
Yeah,
I think that was the
that's
one.
probably why he was like, "We totally should have been in this movie."
I think that was the one where like a lot of people am I joining two stories where like a lot of people died because Guns N' Roses didn't play or were late or something like that?
I don't know.
Oh,
if
yeah,
that's
that
a
happened in
riot
Canada.
story. I don't know if that's a riot
They refused
story.
to come out. They were on tour with Metallica. And the actual...
that was a different story. Okay.
Axel's voice was hurting him real bad.
No, he
No,
was pissed off
okay.
about the monitors. Like, he couldn't hear himself or something with the sound.
It was something diva-ish, like we're not the focus, because James Hetfield was hurt at that show,
Yes, he caught on fire.
and they had to stop the show because he went to the hospital legitimately, and they're like, "Okay, play," and he's like,
stepped in
"Don't
a
tell me to play."
Pyro thing.
Right.
Yeah, so he's like, "I'm not playing."
So they got neither band, and people were furious and tipping
people
over
died.
cars. And
People died.
That was the St. Louis.
Oh,
I think this was in Canada.
I thought it was in like Ottawa or
St.
something like that
Louis.
too. But anyway,
It's
You want me to
Contra.
read the
is there one more question?
options again? There's one more question, but you guys haven't answered this.
Oh, we
yet.
answered it. It's B. It's Contra.
It's Contra.
I don't know. I think I'm going with C. I feel like we've talked about
A,
Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Castlevania. B, Contra. C, Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Or D, Toe Jam and Earl.
It's definitely not D.
Yeah.
And I think I remember a conversation about Contra.
Well, I guessed Contra before the option even came up.
I
so-
think it's your favorite video game, maybe, of that like video game genre. I don't know, but
But the question's not what my favorite is. The
Right.
question is, what do I want to make a movie about? Well, I'm still sticking with Contra.
I'm going C.
C, you're going with Mike Tyson's Punch Out?
Yeah.
What are you going with?
Contra.
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 Final answers. The answer is Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Doug, and that's why Doug's here.
This
Why
has
would you
been,
make a movie about that?
I'll tell you.
Are you going to be
This
Mac?
would be- check it out. This would be great.
Uppercut.
Do you remember? You remember Dick Tracy?
The movie? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know how all the bad guys had that great makeup, how they just look so distorted. You could get that kind of vibe going on with all these characters: the bald bull, the hippo king, what have you.
Totally.
You get
Soda
Eddie
Popinski.
Yeah, you get like Eddie Murphy in a fat suit to play the trainer.
Yes.
What about that other guy that plays all the-
You get Elijah Wood, any of these like little tiny guys to be
Mac.
Little Mac. And here's the best part: you can still, to this day, get Mike Tyson to play himself.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be a great movie,
It wouldn't be a
doesn't sound-
blockbuster.
but it would sell tickets.
People our age would go see it just
Absolutely.
to see it. But
I think it'd be awesome. Totally.
We don't have the budget for Eddie Murphy. Will Tyler Perry do?
and he's going to be Medea.
I would not want to see that movie.
Now,
just so
this
everybody
is-
knows.
This is good now because
I'm
right
gonna
now,
lead now.
for the first time, we have a leader.
3, 2,
this is there one-
1, right?
Doug- Is there one question
Doug
left?
is just one question. Doug's either bringing this home
Or tying.
or you're tying.
Yeah.
What is the
You're
score?
just-
Do
I have no
3
chance
or
of
4?
winning.
You're dead to me.
It's you. You and I. You and I are close, but you just went ahead with the Mike Tyson. All right.
Are you ready?
My chance
Last
to
question.
tie.
My least favorite child/dad chore, like thing to do involving the kids.
What?
Least favorite. Like changing poopy diaper or taking
A.
out the trash or
A, changing diapers. B, giving baths. C, dealing with like travel, like car seats, like in the car type kid stuff. Or D, picking up the house, picking up after toys.
I think it's C, and I know why.
I think it's C as well.
I'm going D.
Picking up the house, it's C.
It's C.
C. That's the car rides.
Yeah.
C for car rides.
And you're going with picking up the mess and the toys.
This is
We just
gonna,
had a conversation about changing diapers last week, and you said you
So-
didn't mind it.
so I either tie or Doug wins. Let's hear it.
Doug Woodard is my best friend.
Man, picking up the toy.
I cannot, dude.
But then
Holden gets up and just immediately takes everything that he has and throws it all over the
But
entire
what about
house.
the projectile
And I cannot-
vomiting when you drive?
Your kid gets car sick. That sounds way worse than
Not
being
You got to clean out, scrubbing the car,
Oh, did you
or
guys
just
get rid of
picking
that
up some
anymore.
toys.
He grew out of it.
Well, I guess I'm not the best friend.
Now,
I don't know.
if the option feeding the dog was on there,
That doesn't happen anymore either. Ever since I quit drinking,
really,
I do not have the
that
bad
gag
stomach
thing.
Yeah, I don't.
Dude, Josh, when he would feed the dog, he puts his shirt over
dry
his
dog
nose.
food.
Dry
Dog food.
Makes you vomit?
And you can hear him through the 2 rooms.
Which is hilarious. I remember when I used to pick you up from work and take you home. The whole ride home, you were doing that.
Yeah.
What, because you had dry dog food in your car?
No, it was the. It got really. It was like acid reflux and everything, but it was really, really, really bad because of the drinking. Like
Totally.
maybe a month or two after I stopped drinking, like all that kind of stuff,
Right.
just went away. And yeah, but dry dog food is a smell that I just
That's interesting.
Oh.
Very
Yeah,
interesting.
get like
That's
chill
a different-
bumps. Like just
He blames it on me, too.
he would
Why?
a time or two ate dry dog food in front of me because he knew about this.
to make you sick?
That's hilarious.
I didn't think it, I thought it was just a milk bone.
Huh?
Wasn't it just a milk bone? Like I took a milk bone. I thought that's what it was.
Doesn't matter. It's the same thing.
Andy, how much would it cost for you to eat a milk bone, a regular size milk bone biscuit? How many dollars?
I mean,
Eat the whole thing.
what flavor are we talking about?
It doesn't matter. It's my choice.
Tune in next week.
I mean, honestly, that's not. I'd probably try it for free. There's,
Why would you? I'm offering you some
Tara, don't worry about dinner tonight.
milk bone.
there's just nothing about a milk bone that sounds disgusting to me. So
What if he did it and he got like super into it? Like,
We eat dog biscuits.
Like he's just like got so into
These
it. Like
things
he's
are
like
delicious.
almost like one of those like weird. What's the TV shows where they show people with the strange habits and stuff?
My Secret Addiction or
Yeah.
something like that.
Gosh, like people
Yeah.
eat couch cushions and stuff like that. And he's going to a therapist.
Andy's just
I
scrolling.
can't stop eating dog biscuits.
Andy's just scrolling through the grocery store, like Frisky. What's got into that cat?
I hope I don't have COVID. You guys are toast.
What do you think? What do you suppose the prime? What do you suppose the big difference is between cat food and dog food?
The label.
You think it's the same
The
stuff?
amount of fish.
I
I don't think it's the
What?
same stuff. It's probably.
I think it depends on the company and stuff. And at this point, I don't know. I think dogs have different
It's gotta be
nutritional needs than cats do, so they got different.
When I had cats, they used to just go absolutely bonkers for Meow Mix, and I don't think I could give that to a dog. I mean,
Chicken liver.
I want chicken. I want liver. Meow mix, please deliver.
it was unbelievable. I mean, it was like crack to them. And they would immediately eat it, go poop, and sleep for 6 hours.
That's their.
You ever
Their night on the town.
You ever catnip them? Like you ever give cats catnip?
Oh, yeah. That and a laser pointer.
Oh, dude, my dog does that. He's obsessed with it. It's,
A laser pointer?
yeah,
I screwed
for
up
real,
one of my
like,
cats with a laser pointer. Like, she would constantly look for it, whether it was there or not. It's funny.
Cats have higher needs for many essential nutrients, whereas dogs can adapt to life on very little.
Dogs literally eat poop. So I think you could probably feed them anything.
Then they puke it up and then
Trust
eat
me,
that.
I had a dog. I saved money. He's fine with poop.
It's okay.
We left the toilet seat up. We saved money on water.
I bought his first can of dog food, and that's just on rotation.
Perpetual energy.
That dog's my best investment.
We have to name the episode. It's time.
I think it would only be polite to let Doug choose the name of the episode, whereas he is the guest and he is the winner.
Oh,
Well,
and my best
he's-
friend. And you guys are dead to me.
Doug's the winner. What do you think?
Josh Baker, GM.
Hey, thanks for listening. If you have any questions or comments, drop us a line at askandy@colormedad. That's DADD.com. We want to thank the good old boys at the OzarkMountainDaredevils.com for the killer bumper tune. Check them out. And check us out on the web at colormedad. That's DADD.com.